Yeah, man, America's going to already be flatlined. All right, the destruction is already going to happen, you know, and then the Lord's going to go around with his elect, and they're going to be subduing all of the heathen nations after their military is defeated. Okay? That's why I said in Revelation, the Lord is going to have many crowns on his head, man, because he's coming back to take the rulership from all these other nations. He's coming back to claim his throne on the planet Earth. Okay? That was it on that in Isaiah. Come. You had something?
Joel,
Go ahead.
3rd chapter. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. From when you was naming all those nations.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's gonna tie into when they gonna even the weaker nations like the Iran, the Pakistans, and even what's that other one you named?
North Korea, Koreans.
Yeah, I think it was them that didn't have the military, the missile.
Philippines.
The Philippines, that's the one. Yeah, that
Philippines.
didn't have that technology. You know, but now they all rising up against America now. It says, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Yeah, and the Lord is setting up that battleground over there as we speak.
Yep.
Okay, that's why all that spirit of war is over there in the Middle East. You know, Syria, that's a battleground.
Hey, the people of those, the people of those lands all understand that war is about to go down. It's just you simple-minded Americans that don't know. Y'all worried about Hillary and Donald, and y'all don't even realize that whoever gets in is about to go to war.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, come. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah, get them missiles ready.
Yep.
All right, get your submarines. All right, get your aircraft carriers.
Go buy some tanks or whatever from Russia or somebody that got it, so you got it over in your land too.
Yeah, do your missile tests.
Yep.
All right, do your joint military drills. You know, it's almost like I'll give an analogy. It's like a Royal Rumble between all the different nations, and they're all going to be fighting for that next world power.
Right.
To be the next world power in rulership. All right, and it's almost like a Royal Rumble. And prior to this actual cage match between all these fighters, they all are training in the gym. They getting their bodies ready, all right, because they're getting ready for that big fight. That's what the Lord got all these nations getting ready for this last battle, man. What they don't understand is, which the elite actually understand,
right.
But the other nations, they don't understand, is that same battle that you're gonna try to fight is gonna get interrupted.
Yep.
None of you are gonna walk away from this world war with a win. None of you.
And I was gonna say, like, just to take the analogy a little further, even sometimes like certain, I used to watch a lot of wrestling when I was a kid. There used to be, if somebody show up, Ultimate Warrior, somebody show up and they be in there fighting or whatever, or whoever, and one man can't beat that one guy, they will gang up to get them out the ring. And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna, like right now they're joining up against America, but then they're gonna realize whoever we got, now we gonna start fighting, but wait, hold on. Who is this that just showed up? When the Lord shows up, we better come together and try to beat them, but you ain't gonna be able to do that.
They're gonna go back to that UN instruction that Ronald Reagan gave.
Yep, they're gonna come together.
What are we gonna do if something from out of this planet comes in?
Well, it's biblical, but it's not. It's about the truth about the Bible.
Ronald Reagan told the UN, what would we do if some interplanetary species come in?
Yep.
It would unite, we would forget about our differences and unite to fight the threat that's upon humanity.
Yep.
And this is what they're gonna do. That's why all these movies out there, War of the Worlds and Independence Day, is about getting the nations together. Because if you notice, even in Independence Day, they gathered all other nations together to come and fight against the fathership that came upon the scene.
Right, and if you remember, they said, hey, they're over all the continents. It's not just over America. They're over all the
They're over
continents.
everybody.
And that's how Yahweh Shem Yahushua gonna come back. They're gonna be over the world, controlling the world. They're not just coming to take over America. They're coming over to take over the world. That's why War of the Worlds and so on and so forth show that. Because they know what these scriptures say. These directors know what these scriptures say. You know?
Hey,
Yeah,
Ronald Reagan's speech to the UN, that was y'all just talking about, right?
Right.
I want to see if I can actually find it.
Oh yeah, it's
Video.
Let's look up Ronald Reagan alien.
video
Look
right
up
there.
Ronald Reagan
That's it,
alien.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know,
I might read up on
about an alien threat,
Yeah.
which when you be technical about it, the word alien just means stranger or strange. Okay, and the angels are strange in a sense because they're from a different realm.
Right.
Or they're strange.
From this planet.
They're not from this planet, man. You know, but those aliens are the angels of the Lord, man, and they're not the aliens that you see in Men in Black.
Right.
Okay, or
Bubble head, big eyes.
yeah, you know, the big heads and the, you know,
Easter egg head.
Yeah, E.T.
X-Files and all
yeah,
that.
E.T. You know, it's nothing like that, man. The Bible tells you and describes who the angels are and what they look like. Okay? Hey, you even got interviews by devils that work for NASA that actually claim to have seen the extraterrestrial being. And he was frightened when he described it.
Tall black man.
They were tall, black.
They're black.
They were black.
He was so shocked that they were black.
He said it
couldn't-
whispered.
Yeah.
Right.
He couldn't even really give the full description of it.
She said, "Then you
They
mean
were
the dark
black.
genders?" She said, "No, they're black."
Black.
Yeah.
And now, but that left the analogy of black men or dark-skinned men or like shadow men, because you know that Esau always gonna try to find another angle to throw confusion in the mix.
Right. I mean, well, they call us black.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
We're not literally black, but that's what they call us, you know?
Exactly.
But what he was trying to say was, man, them was some tall ass niggas.
Yeah, right.
Some tall ass angelic niggas.
Yeah,
And
angelic.
them tall whites we keep hearing, them keep
Yeah.
lying about.
Yeah, you know? Now, you ain't got to play it on the camera, bro.
Even I forget the pilot's name, but he said that he was flying and his plane had got taken over by a force that he didn't understand. And he sat back and the force told him to just leave the controls alone. We got this under control. And he said after a while he went into a different dimension. And he said when he arrived in that dimension, the plane, you know, nestled down onto the runway or whatever it was. And when he got out the plane, some tall white men had came to greet him. And he felt like, okay, these tall whites is running the show. He said, but when they took him to the people who was really running the show, and they was black.
Yeah.
So even in the kingdom, that white skin don't work.
Right.
You's a dough man.
Yeah.
You work for the black. You work for the Most High, man. And he said he wasn't gonna die without revealing that.
Yeah, man. Hey, and to prove that, when you go into Ezekiel, the first chapter, it tells you that the feet of the angels was like unto burnished brass. Does it not describe Yahweh Shai the same way? Burnished brass, or brass that was burnt in a furnace. So that's given that Edomite. he's pretty much telling you what the angels are dark, just like the Lord is dark, dark skin. You know, those same men is coming back to put a foot in this devil's ass, man.
Right.
All right, the same men you called niggas. You know, you called us criminals, thugs,
Super
shit.
predators.
Super predators.
We're gonna be super all
Robert
right.
Kennedy, right? That quote I had about Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
Suppose the Lord comes back and he's black.
Right.
What shall we say then? If we treated blacks so bad throughout all our generations,
Right.
you know?
That's right.
Something
man.
to that effect. Look up the Suppose the Lord was black by Robert Kennedy.
That's right. Yeah, man. You know.
Yo, Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Hitler know we the Lord's jewelry.
Yep.
They try to make everything that Hitler said bad so we don't pay attention to what he said. But Hitler knew who he was even in that Olympics when Jesse Owens blew all them goddamn Aryans away on that track.
Yep.
He knew who he was.
That's right. That's right, man.
But when you go, when we used to hear that in history class, they used to gloss over that. But I used to always ask that question. But didn't he know who the elite people were at that time, and the teachers would never give an answer?
They don't have it, or they can't get it.
They would never get that answer. It was like, okay, next subject.
Yep.
Hitler was bad.
That's all you need to know.
That's it. He killed a bunch of Jews. That's it. Y'all don't need to know nothing else about this man except that he evil. But we have, but as far as the black man is concerned, I ain't never heard no account of that Hitler fucking with us, messing with us.
Right. For real. I'm gonna go into get back into Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 10. In the middle verse, I'll read the top of verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Let the weak say, I am strong. That's those lesser, weaker nations.
Yep.
Now that they hold the nuclear missile, they puffing their chests out, man. They ready to oppose you. I'm talking about America, man. Okay?
It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones, so I can cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh.
Yep. And that's ultimately, that's what's happening now. Okay? All you got to do is just watch the news. The Lord is gathering all these troops all around the world for this last world's war.
That's right.
Okay? And Russia, they already know what to expect, man. That's the reason why they getting their citizens, they're putting them in underground bunkers. You know, as an exercise. We're preaching the Bible. Yeah, we're preaching the word of
like
God.
The Bible before the New Testament, before the Old Testament.
The Old and the New Testament. The whole
Old
book.
Testament.
The whole book.
So, what do you guys say about the New Testament?
What do you mean about it? The New Testament goes hand in hand with the Old Testament.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what's the overall message in the New Testament?
Well, the
The whole
overall,
book, it's the same as the whole book.
the New Testament is basically dealing with the second covenant that the Lord made with the nation of Israel. All right.
Are you guys the Israelites?
Yes, we're the Israelites.
Okay,
Yeah.
I heard about you
Yeah.
guys. So, like, are you guys saying like that the Israelites are the true Jews, or are they?
Yeah, they're chosen. Yeah, they're the
One of
true.
the tribes of the
Yeah, the Jews are one of the tribes of the 12 tribes
And
of
they come from
Israel.
Africa.
No, they come from Israel.
Israel.
But a lot of them fled into
But
Africa.
isn't that like the actual like issue about Israel? Isn't that like no one knows where the real Israel is because
No, we
that geographical location, because you know like the geographical location right now is in the Middle East where Israel is right now, what the Zionists believe. But is that the real Israel that was the real place of the Israelites, or is that something that was by the Zionists?
Let me say this. Well, it was described in the Bible. The Bible described where that land was at.
So where's the land?
It's in the Middle East.
Where is it? Where the Israel is right now?
But let me say this.
Go ahead, huh?
Because the main thing that this book is talking about isn't about just that land. It's not about the people of the land. It's about the people.
It's about the people.
So the people, the land.
Is
the
it
land
about the
is
chosen
named.
people, or is it just the people in general?
It's about the chosen people.
Okay.
And it's like this: the chosen people are people first, and then the name is named out. The land is named after those people.
Okay, so it's the land of Israel.
Because the new land of Israel and the kingdom of heaven, which is on earth, will not only be what it was back then, it's also going to be what Edom's territory was also. So it's going to grow. So it's not about the particular land. Even though those fake Jews are in the land now, it's not just about that particular land. It's going to be particularly where the Lord put us. But the whole earth is ours. But other people going to have
You can't really say they're the fake Jews because they are they could be fake Jews. We don't know. Maybe you might believe.
When
they're
did they
fake
get
Jews.
there? When did
But
they
I'm
get
just-
there?
But I'm just saying they're not. There are Jews, but they're not. They're Zionists.
When
There's a
did the
difference.
current
Right?
people
Because
that call,
there's-
check it out.
Yeah.
When did the current people who call themselves Jews enter into that land? There is a date.
Probably within the last 100 years, maybe
No,
60 years.
1948.
Yeah, within the last 100 years, which is like
That's not
50s.
100 years. That's 1948.
Yeah, when the British Empire lost its power.
Okay, so if they entered this race of people who entered into that land in 1948,
Yeah.
how can they call themselves Jews when when the Jews, the Bible says, when the Jews enter back in that land, there will be peace.
Yeah, there will be no wars on the planet after the real Jews go into that land. There's still wars. World War
So
III is
are
being
you
built right now.
So are you saying right now that the occupation of the land is
It's inhabited by heathens.
is not the actual occupation of the Israelites or the Jews of Israel? You're saying it's a fake thing.
How's
Yeah, the
that?
people that are in that land right now,
Yeah.
they
How's
don't
the
belong
logic?
there. The people of that land is not in that land right now. They're scattered like the curses. The curses told you that the people of that land was going to be scattered all throughout the world under different captivities,
That's what
under
happened
other
to us.
nations, and that's what happened to the children of Israel.
I'm gonna give you a
Yeah,
perfect
no,
example.
I definitely do believe that. I do understand like the actual occupation of Israel right now. I'm not against Jews, like, even if you might want to call them they're fake Jews, but they're still holy people to a certain extent.
No.
No,
Even
they're
though
not holy.
even
They're not
though
holy.
They're not holy.
Those people are not holy.
no, but I'm not talking about the people that are in power. I'm talking about the people that are in the
Them
land.
either.
No, they're not
Them
holy.
either.
Because
Are you
they're
talking about the Palestinians? Is that what
not the Palestinians.
Talking about the
The
cosmos.
Jews-
Jewish,
Jewish-
Jewish people that are there.
The
yeah.
Zionists.
The Zionist Jewish.
Zionists,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They're
imposters.
not holy.
They're not holy.
Not holy at all.
Not holy at all. I'm gonna give you this here too.
Wait. What does the word Salafi mean?
Yeah.
What does the word holy mean?
I actually don't know.
Set apart and separate.
It's separate.
Set apart,
It's
separate.
Right.
Now-
but they're not. They're just like the other nations. But Israel, which when you go into the prophecies that describe who Israel is, you see the characteristics and the qualities that make them separate and holy, which are these people on the side. When you start looking at the characteristics of these people, not the condition of the people today, but the characteristics of those people, you'll see that they're separate.
So what do you guys think of the Rastafaris and the people that were from Ethiopia when
Haile Selassie wasn't even an
yeah.
Israelite.
He wasn't.
What-
Yeah,
what do
he
you-
was.
what-
he was.
what do you guys have
He
to
was.
say about
He was Elam. He was a East Indian.
East Indian.
He was not an Ethiopian.
That's a false prophet.
So do you guys think that his message was false?
Yes.
Because the Heavenly Father didn't give him that message. If
The Lion of Judah is
Yeah.
the Messiah,
Right.
who the world
Lion
even
of
called
Judah?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The Lion of Judah is him,
Right.
not that guy. He was just another man that came on the scene, and he taught the world. Yeah, He was basically another guy who claimed to be
Just
sent,
like
he's
Yahweh
anointed.
ben Yahweh said that he was. It's the same equivalent of Yahweh ben Yahweh.
So what do you guys think of Shine? You guys know Shine.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of him? He obviously
He's
lost.
He's lost.
He's lost.
He's actually a real Israelite,
But
but
he just don't know the truth.
yeah, he's taken on the religion aspect of it,
Right.
Judaism.
Yeah.
Instead of the
You know?
truth of
but isn't it like what you guys are saying is kind of controversial because
It's meant to be.
it's kind of controversial because the Jews say that the New Testament is not the Word of God; it's the actual original Testament.
I'm gonna
But you
read
guys
exactly
are
what
saying
it
that.
This is why. Go
I have a
ahead.
valid question, right?
Yeah, we're gonna give you
yeah,
the
yeah.
reason.
I have a
We're gonna
valid
give you the
question.
reason why they say it.
Let me say it like this. Before I read, I'm gonna say this. So if I said, hey, go read my newspaper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to read that. It got bad news about me in it. I don't want to read that. Same thing. Right, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, because they only believe in the Torah,
Right.
and they believe that the Messiah was never prophesied in the Torah. So that's why they
The coming of the
exclude.
Messiah.
That's why they exclude the New Testament.
Right.
But the Messiah was prophesied all throughout the Old Testament.
But then it's kind of controversial because in the New Testament, it's basically putting emphasis on Jesus. But
Yeah,
but then Jesus, like,
But
he's a
no
prophet.
emphasis
He's a
put on
prophet
him
of,
back then.
He's a prophet of not even though you guys might claim he might be the prophet of everyone, but he's not a prophet
No, he's not the prophet of everyone.
of Israel. He's a prophet of the Christians.
No,
And the
no,
Christian
of
is
Israel. The Christians are Israelites.
Right.
So you guys say Christians are Israelites.
Christians are Israelites, but the Israelite, basically, if you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and
So
Jacob,
then why don't you follow Christianity and not be an Israelite?
Because that's a religion.
because that's a
now.
religion. We don't follow religion.
And that preaches that.
Matter of fact, go to it, bro. Go to Acts 11. The term Christian was placed upon specific men, and it was meant in a derogatory fashion. That was a derogatory term. But they were followers of the anointing. But that's what it means. It means to be a follower of the anointing. And the followers back then were Israelites, the men who followed him and taught, which were his disciples.
Yeah.
Get Acts 11 and 26. 11 and 26.
Yeah. I was right on. It says, Acts chapter 11, verse 26, and when he had found him, he brought him to Antioch, and it came to pass that the whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught many people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So it started with the disciples. They were called Christians, not just any old person.
But when you go into the meeting, it makes more sense when you go into the meaning of the Greek word Christos, which the word Christ means anointed. But they were anointed, but they said it in a derogatory term, like, they're the ones those are those anointed guys over there. You know what I'm saying?
I never knew that.
It's like facetious, like, playing with it,
So
Those
the
that pass as
root word is
followers
Christos?
Christos.
Christos. Was that a derogatory term, meaning like the people that are like kind of like?
Yeah,
they don't know
those
what
guys, like,
they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they
like,
followed.
those are good guys over there knowing that they're bad guys, It's like being sarcastic,
Yeah.
That's how they threw it at us.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Now
understand.
read that in
Revelation.
Revelation.
Yeah.
We finna teach you about the Jews over there in
Right.
Israel.
Revelation chapter 2,
The
verse
Jewish.
9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Now, break it down, bro.
He says, Lord is saying, I know your tribulations, your poverty. It says that the real Jews will be in poverty, like the black people here in America. We are in poverty. We go through tribulations, trial and tribulations. For example, these are some of our trial and tribulations. What other nation on the planet went through this?
That badly.
What other, did the Jews and did the people in that land go through this? They claim he went through Hitler, but Hitler didn't do this to them, no matter what it said, because if he did, it'd be documented.
Right.
This is trial and tribulations. Go ahead.
It says, but thou art rich.
He says we rich. Why are we rich? With the knowledge of this book. Because because we are the Israelites, he said, you are rich. Keep going.
It said, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews,
He said he knows the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews.
And
those
are
people-
not.
And are not. And those are those bastards that dwell in Ashdod right now in Jerusalem. They are not the Jews. Go to 3 and 9.
it says, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Now, where do they practice their religion? In what? In what kind of building?
Synagogue.
But the
synagogue.
word synagogue just means house.
But it's there for a reason.
Right.
Because they use that. No one else uses that, right?
No one else on the planet calls themselves Jews but them.
Do Muslims practice in a synagogue? Or what they call it? A mosque.
Right.
So the Lord's
It's
giving us
tied in,
hints.
yeah.
Keep going.
Verse, this is 3 and 9. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews,
Once
and
again,
are-
he's repeating it.
and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
And we are that thee. We are the children of Israel. And we are
All 12 of the tribes.
we are Israel is a people before a place.
So we're like the true Israelites. Where do their ancestors come from? Like the ones that are right now. Like
We are here. You looking at us, and we come from
no, but
Jerusalem.
where are the ancestors? Like where's the roots come from? Like
We come
It
from
goes
Jerusalem.
back. If you look at this sign, you'll see it. We go back to the sons of Jacob.
Let me go
which part of the world do they
the
actually?
Middle East.
The Middle
Everybody
East.
comes out.
Everybody
Okay,
started
okay,
there.
I know what's wrong. Check this out. This is the problem. When we say who we are, people have a problem with it because of our history and that we're here now. But migration took place through all the countries. For example, who's living in Egypt right now? Who's the main people in Egypt right now? Are they Egyptians or Arabs? Those aren't the people of Egypt. They're Arabs. They pushed those people down in the Sudan. The real Egyptians are in the Sudan. So people migrated. We fled out of Jerusalem in 70 AD into Africa.
Right.
fleeing Roman persecution.
Exactly.
Under the Roman
and
Empire.
then we were sold. People always say you were sold by Africans. Yeah, we were sold by Africans, but that's another dark race. Just like there are different races of Caucasians. Those are just another dark race. We are Israelites, and they knew that. So, but we were sold to Greeks by Africans and Arabs.
Right.
Financed by Jewish.
Hey,
They financed those boats.
Let me bring this out real quick. This is
That's why we're here today.
This is a quote from Gamal Abdel Nasser, the second president of Egypt in 1952.
Time
It
magazine.
says, Time magazine.
Make it official.
It says the end of the Jewish people pointedly states that the Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew-speaking Gentiles. The late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated on television, "You, the Jews, will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black and came back white.
See?
We cannot accept you."
They know. The president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, knows who we are. Hitler knows who we are. Go into
Even
that
Hitler.
Hitler one. Go into the Hitler one.
I got it.
See, they always want to tell us that Hitler is bad, but they don't want to
was
tell
bad.
he
He
was
was a
bad,
heathen.
but not for
But-
us.
yeah,
He didn't. But he knew who we were,
He did
and
a
he
lot
did.
of bad stuff, but
He was a demon.
That don't mean he didn't know the truth.
Yeah, and he did an interview.
Yeah, he was a really intelligent person because
And he did
he
it.
knew about the ancient knowledge that
That's
was
it right there.
and he utilized it for his power.
Now listen to
exactly
this.
right.
This is what Hitler said about.
Exactly
Because
right.
even
going
the
on?
swastika,
Right.
you guys know what the swastika is, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Jews say it's a bad sign.
Right.
A swastika, where does it come from? You guys know where it
The
comes
word
from?
means black.
It means
The word
black.
means black.
No, swastika.
Swastika.
Right, the symbol.
Yeah,
The
symbol.
Oh, the actual symbol.
The
Yeah.
symbol actually comes from India,
Right.
and that symbol means prosperity. But for
They
for,
demonized it.
They demonized it basically,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
The original symbol has 4 dots within the swastika sign, but for the Hindus,
It's a
you know,
character, right? It's
and it's utilized in a way that demonizes like his power, right?
Now check out this interview that Hitler gave.
Hitler said even in his death he would start World War III.
In his death, he'd start World War III. Why?
One of his soldiers asked how. Hitler replied, "The day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation, Germany, from then that's the day World War III will start. For on that day, mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nation from the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Jews. For if
Even
the,
back then, they was talking about the Illuminati. But people didn't catch on speed until the late
Till now,
2000s.
the late 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
It says, for if the Americans win the war,
Here, listen up
if
now.
the
people
Americans win the war, then they will
out.
conquer
He said
the
if
world
the Americans win the war, they'll conquer the world.
and forever be a slave to the Jews, and they will try to conquer
Hey,
God."
who's America's #1 ally? It's Israel. Like a lot of the beefs that's going on is because of the beefs that Israel, the people that's in Israel.
I personally think that the reason why they're supporting like the state of Israel is because not because they want to do good in the world, it's because they want to diffuse, they want to put the issue somewhere else. They don't want to put it on them.
Well,
It's about
Right?
resources.
So they want to keep the issue somewhere else,
It's-
away from home.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Away from home.
It's about conquering resources. With Israel over there being the power in that area, they can spread their tentacles out and,
Yeah, they
beat
can-
the rest of the nations down
I agree
and
with
steal the resources.
I agree with
That's
that
what it's
because
about.
they-
Now
they-
keep,
they
But
put their
they need a military to do
Yeah.
it. And who has the #1 military
That's why
on
they
earth?
put their military there, because they want the state of Israel
Right.
there, and then once it's there, they can justify fighting against all these other countries that are in
That's
the
their
area.
proxy. That's their
just
proxy.
as a proxy war.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, finish this
It
up.
says, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews, and they will try to conquer God. Do you know who America has in its possession? No, the soldier replied. The Americans have stolen has the jewels of God. The Americans have
The
stolen.
word jewels come from Jew or Judah. Comes
Jew.
out of that. Jewelry comes from
He said America has the jewels in their possession. Go ahead. Who are the
It
jewels?
says the Americans have stolen God's precious jewels. What do you mean his precious jewels? The soldier asked. Hitler said America has stolen the jewels. The Jews of God, his jewelry, the Negroes.
The Negroes. That's us. See, we lost our heritage and our identity and our God doing slavery. It was beaten out of us. So nobody wanted us to know who we were. But now,
I wouldn't say they lost it because of slavery. They lost it because of colonialism.
well, check this out.
But that was part of the slavery.
Slavery,
The other two were slavery.
after a generation, you separate. If I came to your house and you say you got 7 siblings,
Because
hold on, peep it out. I'm
The
finna give
reason
you
why I'm
something.
saying that is because slavery means they took people of that region here, right? But that's not why you lost your history. People that were brought here, like, sorry for me using
Go ahead.
this word, right? Black people lost their heritage that were in America, but people in Africa lost their heritage because of colonialism.
We not dealing with Africa.
I
We ain't African.
But then
Hold
that's,
on, listen to us. Peep
yeah.
game.
Listen
We
how I
are
say
not
it.
Africans. We are Israelites. Africans did not go through slavery. Israelites went through slavery.
but Africans went
No,
through colonialism.
No, it don't matter.
But that's why I said, my bad, bro. That's why I said no other nation or type of or nation of people, race of people have gone through it this bad. We're the only ones that
But
went through it this bad.
that's true. It is
Yeah,
slavery
read
and
that
colonialism.
difference.
They weren't
Wait up,
forced
wait up.
into.
Let me read
Wait
this.
up.
Go ahead.
This is a Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary for the definition of Ham. Remember who Ham is? The
Three
Bible,
sons of
the
Noah.
Three sons of Noah.
Yeah.
It was Ham, Shem, and Jacob. Right? All right, so it says Ham, Japheth. It says the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians,
Africans.
those real Sudanese, though.
Yep, Africans.
It says Ethiopians,
Africans.
Libyans,
Africans.
and Canaanites.
Africans. Israelites are not Africans.
Right.
We fled into Africa.
Right.
Then we were captured and sold to Grecians, the Greeks, by Africans and Arabs.
And let me say this, there's documents and books and different stuff talking about how they recognized that we were them. Because they looked at the customs, these same customs that we were still keeping. I said, look, the new moon, it's a Sabbath. They ain't out there. The
That's
rest
them.
of the Sabbath. That's gotta be them.
Different things.
So they knew who we were.
So it's a difference between us.
And if I might say this, if
Exodus.
you in slavery for so long,
Yeah.
you're not gonna still have the same culture that you once started with.
Yeah.
Con.
They basically strip people of their identity.
And back to it, and back.
'cause
Con.
I can oppress you all day long. I could just like going back into our history. When we came here in slavery, we were speaking a total different language. But our oppressors, they were speaking one language. They made us speak their language. They beat it into us.
Yes.
And they told us to change our names. Whatever
Yes.
name we go by,
Con.
hey,
That's the,
your name is gonna be this now.
your name, Toby.
You don't speak this
That's
language.
actually a good question you brought that up. A good thing you brought that up.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Saquat. Well, I went back to a Hebrew.
Okay, what's your name?
Karadazah.
What's your name?
Yakanan.
I respect that because you guys stripped your
Yeah.
master your
Right.
Now I'm
master's name.
gonna tell you just how easy that is. Say you are the father of 7.
Yeah, I don't.
Somebody comes into your house, they kill you. They separate all your children. And your children have children. Are those children going to know anything about you, those grandchildren? That's how easy it was to get your heritage erased from you. It only take a generation. And when no one is reinforcing it, it's gone. And we went through generations and generations of slavery. Plus our language was changed.
So how did you come to the point where
Because the
you
Lord
realized
said
that
the Lord said He was going to put a spirit back on earth to let us know that we were the Israelites, and we're in that prophecy
No, I'm
now.
asking you personally, like
I came
how did
across
you-
a teacher who taught me who I was, and a few things
And it
sparked, and it clicked. And once it clicked, I knew exactly who I was.
I got a
And the
scripture
Bible
too.
says that was going to happen to us in the last days. Wouldn't you say we're in the last days now? Don't you see everything that's going on? We are in that time, and before that time takes place, the Israelites were going to come back to who they knew they were, who we were.
It's
we're
Jeremiah
there.
chapter 17, verse 4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Hey, and if you go all the way back into other white civilizations like the Greeks, when they became the Greeks and the white people became the Greeks, whatever, they had decrees, and it's written in this Bible, which is part of the Bible, the Apocrypha written in the Bible, that we had to stop doing some of our some of our customs.
Yeah.
It was keeping the
Already
high
done.
holy days. Now, by the time we got into the time of the Lord, from the Greeks to the Roman time of the Lord, some of us didn't know it, but some of us still did know it. So keep fast forwarding all this
Yeah,
oppression and lies and deceit up
Not
until
these
now.
ones.
Now we don't know who we are. You know, because
People
what do they say?
convert to
We're
being
blacks,
Greeks.
we're African Americans. They tell us
I
that
can
we
give
was
them that
African,
right here,
but where were we before Africa? You know what I'm saying? Like, people trace it back to so far, but they don't go back to the very genesis, so to speak, of where it's at.
Finish this
Go
one.
ahead.
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Hey, because when the Israelites, prior to the Northern Kingdom coming over here to the Southern America, the indigenous of North, Central, and South America, the Hispanics and natives or whatever, before they were here, nobody lived over here. They were the first people to actually take this land on and live over here. They knew this land was here, but then through the course of time, they lost their heritage. Then the conquistadors came, and they came and took the rest of whatever they had, and all the way up until today. You know, when they brought the Negroes.
That's the
and
reason why they speak Spanish.
Right.
Because the Spaniards
Spanish
came over
and,
there
Portuguese.
and pillaged them, raped them,
Yeah.
and
Legal
forced
to
Christian,
see.
and forced
Christianity.
Roman Catholicism on
Roman
them.
Catholicism.
Before we
That's
go,
what, and they were speaking Hebrew, different broken dialects of Hebrew prior to those conquistadors coming over here.
Any like civilization can trace their ancestors back to, like, I could be wrong, but I think it's Indo-Aryan languages. You might
You're
say
East
it's Hebrew.
Indian, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm East Indian. Yeah,
You're a Hebrew.
yeah.
You're a Hebrew.
Because what they say is like, this is what I've been taught. Like, I could be wrong. But they say like, if you can't trace your ancestors back to Africa, then you can trace your ancestors back to India. So that's what I believe in.
Well, I mean that's speculation. That could be of a debate,
But obviously, it is. It
I
is.
mean,
it is-
mankind
it is a
started on
proven
that
fact.
side of the world
Right.
anyway.
It is a proven fact that everyone traces their ancestors back to people that are of dark skin.
Exactly.
People that actually have
Everybody was
a lot of
started-
melanin in their
Everybody was
skin.
dark.
Right.
Exactly.
They can trace their ancestors back to that. But,
Right.
but
That's true.
we were taught otherwise, right? So
I'm gonna give you this right here to let you know the difference between us. Just going back to the Zondervan
Yeah.
dictionary.
Yeah.
This is Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel.
Now wait, let me read.
Okay, go ahead.
This is talking about the time of the Exodus. Basically, before the Exodus, when Moses went up to Pharaoh and said, "Hey, God said let my people go," and he kept not doing that. Right? He kept hardening his heart toward God, toward what Moses was saying. He wouldn't let him go. So all the way up until now, when that last, it was the last plague, right? Yeah, when the last plague came about, he made a difference between who was who, because they were all dark-skinned people over there at the time. But he made a difference between who was who.
And that's how we know that the Lord was dark, because he fled into Egypt to hide.
Yeah, back in the time of
Could
Herod.
those have been white folks if he fled into Egypt to hide?
They don't hide you.
No,
yeah.
you couldn't hide them. 11:7. Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of
Wait,
Israel.
let me say, which is the same reason why the Israelites fled into Africa also. So we can hide among other dark-skinned people, because we can't stay up in Europe. You're going to point us out, no problem. But we fly into among other dark-skinned nations, you won't see us. You know, you ain't going to be able to see us off. Oh, that's some more Africans. You ain't going to realize that we're who we are. But the other Africans knew the difference, and Arabs knew the difference, so they was like, hey, I think that's them over there. Let's wait till the new moon and see when the Sabbath comes in. Then they start looking at our customs, watching it from afar. That's how they knew.
And here's just a hint to let you know that there's different African nations, black nations. Can you tell the difference between a pygmy and a Sudanese?
I think I can.
What's the major difference?
From Sudanese and who?
Pygmies.
Pygmies? Which part of Africa are pygmies from?
This is how you tell. Pygmies are little. They're little people. Sudanese are tall.
Manubo.
Manubo.
Yeah.
That's how you. That's a whole different black
They were
nation.
known for their height.
See what I'm saying?
Egyptians.
There's different black nations. Now, here we go. 11:7, Exodus. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog wag his tongue against man or nor beast, that ye may know that the Lord do put a difference between Egyptian and Israel. There's a difference.
Even though they're both dark
They're
skinned,
dark people.
he made a difference between them.
Like
That's
it
why
says-
he plagued them. It's like he plagued them and not the Israelites.
Like it
But-
says,
but one thing I wanna
well,
ask you-
Moses, he was among the Egyptians. He was able to mix in with them, you know, because he was dark skinned just like the Egyptians.
So what this is what I want to ask you is, what do you guys think of like all the ancient artifacts like that are in Egypt right now, with them having their, like, you know, like let's just say a lot of the structures that were in Egypt, a lot of them have their noses missing. What do you guys have to say about that?
So they don't want
They didn't want you to know who that was.
Why, but this one got a nose on it though.
And he
what
looks
kind of nose?
European.
And he don't look nothing like the people that would have been in, around that time.
So do you
that
think it's
those
a
were built.
coincidence, or do you think it's
No,
actually
there is
It was
no-
on
deliberate?
purpose.
There is
But that was done on
Napoleon
purpose.
shot the nose off.
Yeah.
They know
took
what
that
the
down
deal
on
is.
purpose.
He shot it off.
They
They
want
know
they
they
want
got
to
the-
whitewash.
Why?
They want to whitewash history.
Well, let's
Same
go
thing.
into it.
That's why.
Yeah.
White
They
supremacy.
didn't want the big
Okay, so
fat.
you guys actually do know what you're talking about. So,
The people, a lot of empires that ruled prior to the white man were all dark, ruled by dark-skinned people, dark nations.
you guys actually do know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
the Persians, they were dark people. That, you know, the East Indians, I believe they go back to those same people, the Persians.
This is
Okay,
what
you have the
happened.
Persians and the Medes. They were dark-skinned people. The Babylonians, they were dark-skinned. Okay,
Canaanites with dark skin.
Canaanites were all dark-skinned. The only when the white man came into power, it was starting with the Greco-Roman Empire. That's when the white man started to rule. That was the beginning of his civilization. And in this book, in the
Do you
Apocrypha
guys-
of the Bible,
Do you
it
guys
t-
think that there might be a higher intelligence that might be manipulating civilization today?
Yeah,
higher
man,
intelligence?
it's
Yeah, higher
all-
intelligence.
They
I'm
have-
not saying God, but I'm just saying like maybe there's a different race of people or a different race of
No, there's no
uh,
Anunnaki.
not Illuminati. I'm just saying like
Anunnaki type deal.
yeah, like
no.
Anunnaki, those type of people are like people that actually had like a different intelligence than human beings.
By that description, those that have the wisdom of this would be the Anunnaki. You know, so just like that's why the so-called white men, the elites, call themselves Illuminati,
Illuminati.
because they're the enlightened ones. They're the ones that have the knowledge. But now we're spiritually the Illuminati because we have the knowledge and we have the prophecy as well.
take
So
about
where
what's
do you
happening.
think
And we
our-
still have the name of the Heavenly Father.
do you think the people that have the knowledge are the people that actually know where the Ark of the Covenant is?
The Lord hid that on
The
purpose.
Lord has that hidden.
He
I
has that
believe
hidden.
the Lord has that hidden.
Because if man had it, they'd use it
So
for.
you guys don't think that somebody on this earth has that?
No.
Oh,
No,
it's
nobody
hidden.
got it.
Somebody has it.
Because if you
whoever
read-
hid it probably has it.
If you
Nobody
if,
has
if-
it right now.
No man has
well,
it.
if you read it in
I think
if,
some man has it.
if you read in history, men were killed
Every time they
for,
touched it.
for
So
trying to
what do
handle
you
the
think is
Ark of the
what do you
Covenant.
think is the Ark of like if you could tell me in words, what do you think the Ark of the Covenant is?
Well, we can tell you out of the Bible. We can't give you our own words. We can
Yeah.
tell you what the Bible says it
What
is.
does the Bible tell you about?
If y'all want, y'all can go to the history. I think Samuel,
Samuel, 2 Samuel.
First Samuel, maybe.
I wanted to give you
Yeah,
on
first
reason
of
why the noses was shot off.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, this is
The
First
leg first.
Maccabees.
Second Samuel
And,
is coming
Is
back.
that in the Bible or is
Yes.
It's the Bible.
it in the Bible?
This is the
Yeah, that's-
Bible.
that's in the Bible.
This
I think
is
it's-
this
it's
is in that
Bible,
book right there.
1611.
This is just taken out.
It
Yeah.
was the Bible destruction book that took a lot of that out. Some of this books is from the books of Daniel, Ezra. Some of his writings were taken out also.
Then they fastened the day.
Call it out.
Oh, this is First Maccabees 3 and 47. Then they fastened that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their head and rent their clothes. They put ashes on their, ripped up the clothes and laid open the book of the law. This is the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likenesses of their images. So they knew who the Israelites were. That's why you got all these. That's why you got white Jesus right there. That's perpetrated all throughout the world because they know the true image of the Lord. But then they started destroying artifacts, pictures, and everything, painting it in their own likenesses. And that's what happened with the Sphinx and everything else. They started painting their own likenesses.
Job 9:24.
Yeah.
Then that covers
Yeah.
the faces of the
So the
judges.
Here we
question I
go.
want to get back at was what does the Bible describe as
He's
what
finna
the Ark
say.
of Covenant is.
Yeah, what we're getting right now.
And here's another part of what I just read. This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Now, for example, who's the main race that is in charge of the planet Earth right now?
Yeah, Caucasian.
Okay. He says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges. Who are the judges? The Israelites.
25 and 22.
If not, where and who is he?
And there,
So you can round it up. You can process of elimination. Is the East Indian destroying the earth and causing all this chaos?
and that,
Is it the Africans who we say doing all that, do their thing? Are they doing it?
Capitalists.
There you.
That
Who are those capitalists?
The Europeans.
and that also goes with iconoclasm. The changes, where it says changes of the faces of the judges.
Yeah.
The pictures that
You guys gonna be here tomorrow?
Every
I
Sunday.
think
here every Sunday.
I think I put a good challenge to you guys because I
No, we-
definitely want to know
we
what your
got it.
answer is
We got it.
based on the Bible, what the Ark of Covenant is. Because I've always been fascinated by that, and I'll come back tomorrow maybe and ask you guys.
We won't be here tomorrow.
Here
Next
tomorrow?
Sunday?
We here Sunday.
Sunday.
Every Sunday we out here.
Maybe we'll see you guys next
Maybe
time.
it's
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
Well, by the way, the ark is basically like a chest
Yeah.
or like a box,
Okay.
and that's where he kept the Ark of the
tablets.
Testimony at,
Okay.
and our stone tablets.
that
So
was
why is it like getting so
It's
much
like a treasure.
significance? Meaning like that there's so much like power there, or there's so much like
Because the
knowledge
Lord,
there.
the Lord
that
kept that
optimal
for
power.
Israel, for the priest. It was for the
Only the
priest to
priest-
hold.
yeah, and
Only
only
the
certain-
priests were able to hold.
It's a certain
Those-
way to do it too.
Right. So basically, it was something sacred
pure, yeah,
that
sacred.
the Lord wanted kept between
Yeah.
him and his people.
Yep.
That's what that pretty much was.
And they haven't been able, if they had,
We could
if
go
they
more
could
in
harness
depth
that
about it,
power, they
you
would have
know.
did it.
I think they do harness the power right now. I personally do.
They
think-
wouldn't
I
have to
think
go
they-
and mine for
Like, you know how
for
it's-
uranium. They wouldn't have to go mine for uranium and none of that if they had that power.
The reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, you guys are saying basically that there's something there that's knowledgeable, and like the Illuminati and all these like people, so like evil people that have this knowledge. And I think they're utilizing the Ark of Covenant to use it to their own means. That's what I
No,
think.
they're not
They're
using
using
that.
sorcery on the
They're
left-hand
using
side.
witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's what they're
Which
using.
is spiritual power on the wicked side, the
Left
left
hand
hand side.
side.
Yeah.
Versus praying to God and He granting that being spiritual power on the right, on righteousness on the right hand side. So they're tapping into that left hand side of wickedness to get that power from, which the Lord is allowing that to happen
For now.
because we're under punishment, and that's why the white man was created to punish us. But now they're moving overboard, and He's like, all right, that's enough. So you got to go and
And
set
they
the world
destroying the
back right.
planet.
No, there's no doubt about they're not. They're certain planet. That's definitely there. But yeah,
So
you
the
guys
Lord
are.
got to come back and break this down.
All right, guys.
We answered every
It was
question.
really nice meeting you guys.
Did we answer every question?
Oh, you guys are awesome, man. Like I got a lot of knowledge from you guys, and
We're here every
Take care, brother.
always love. For us, talking to you guys is love. Like we respect what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Keep doing it,
We love all
and
people. All their views.
thank you guys.
All right, you guys take care.
Take care. That's Elam.
Yeah.
All right. Hey.
I think that other one-
I think the other one might.
Shorter one? Yeah, he might be. But the one with the turban, that's Elam right there.
So he rocking his turn.
I mean, not to say that he couldn't be a Jake, but
Haji.
That's
just naturally,
Elam. That's
he
Elam.
naturally falls into the spirit of Elam.
Johnny Quest and Haji.
Hey, but yeah, right. Or Teji and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
But, yeah, man. Jake don't even come up with sincere questions like that, man.
He get mad about Jesus or white Jesus.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
talk
And
to
they
him.
did no research. That's why I'm gonna just read it, bro. I mean, I wasn't gonna get it, but I might as well. Jeremiah says what it says, man. Jeremiah 4:22.
Yeah, our people don't, man.
They gotta go.
We can have an actual discourse, an actual reasonable
Dialogue.
dialogue
With
with
the
the
other-
heathens.
yeah.